I do have a couple of rules, which is that if it isn't updated at least twice a day, it's not a blog, it's a website. So don't fool yourself that you're blogging when really you're just putting stuff up online. And twice a day is sort of, I think, the minimum. I think a blog to live really has to be probably 4 or 5 times a day. We post 250 times a week, which is insane. But what I've learned is that the readers treat it like crack. I mean, they will take as much as you could possibly give them and return infinitely more. And the interaction, this is the second thing I'd say. Take your readers as part of your community. This is a dialogue, not a monologue. With any luck, the dialogue then becomes a conversation. No single person knows very much. And what he knows, he soon forgets. So the collective consciousness or collective mind of the world out there is really what we're trying to. And in our case, we are trying to get at the truth. We really are. We're trying to understand what the hell is happening. And that means that I will have a particular line of inquiry, sort of an angle of entry into that, because I'm going to have certain prejudices and thoughts and feelings and judgments and mindset. But the goal is to provoke other stuff too, so that we try and get to the core of it. We're trying to actually get to what's actually happening. And I think that's another thing. But look, you can blog about your garden, and it's a brilliant blog. I also think the other critical thing, so more than one time a day, more than once a day, enter a dialogue. Thirdly, I really think you have to be yourself. I think this is a medium about personality and voice. It's about honesty and openness. And people can smell inauthenticity a mile away. And that's really what Facebook is. I mean, at some point now with social media, everybody has a blog. I mean, what I was doing 10 years ago is now ubiquitous. At the time, when we first started, none of my peers in journalism could understand why on earth I would stop writing essays for the New York Times Magazine or being to do this. And my feeling was, why not? I get to write. Having been an editor of an opinion magazine, having been a columnist, having written books, and knowing through that process, every time you had to go through some authoritative figure, editor, proprietor, colleagues, blah, 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 publisher, God help us, publicists, all that ghastliness. Suddenly, woo, I could go right to the reader, forget everything. The only question was whether I could ever make a living at it. And for 6 years, didn't. I mean, but I did it for the hell of it. And I think sometimes this generation that grew up with this don't remember, don't understand how hard it was for the great writers of the past to get their stuff out there. The agents and the publishers and the manuscripts and the desperate attempt to get your reviews published, and then they will botch it and cut it in half or rewrite it or wouldn't publish it for political reasons. You've no idea what people went through. And now we're fine.